Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here this evening for this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Today's date is Wednesday, September 9th, 2015, and tonight's meeting is we have a public hearing first, and then we're going to go on to our regularly scheduled Town Board work session. But before we get started, I'm going to ask everybody to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And Councilwoman McDonough, would you lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for all the men and women who are fighting for our freedom. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue.
You're welcome.
Okay, once again, thank you all for being here, and those at home for watching this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. For the record, all Town Board members are present with us this evening, as is our Town Clerk, Ann Spofford. Ann, thanks for being here. And all the way down to my far left is the Town Council, Greg Fulchetti. So the first item on the agenda was at 6:15 p.m. this evening. The board met in executive session to discuss a personnel matter with respect to the engineering department. And so right now we're going to go on to the public hearing portion of the meeting. But before we move any further on that, I'm going to ask the town clerk to please read the notice of the public hearing.
Notice is hereby given that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel will conduct a public hearing at the Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, 10541, on Wednesday, September 9th, 2015, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter that evening as possible, on a local law amending Chapter 114 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Property Maintenance as follows. Proposed local law, if adopted tonight, it would be number 3 of the year 2015, a local law to amend the Code of the Town of Carmel, Chapter 114 thereof, entitled Property Maintenance. Be it enacted by the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, County of Putnam, State of New York as follows. Section 1, the local law shall be known as 2015 Amendments to Chapter 114 entitled Property Maintenance.
Section 2, Section 114-7 of Chapter 114 of the Code is hereby amended to read as follows. 114-7, responsibility for violations. The duties, responsibilities, and obligations prescribed within this chapter shall be applicable and enforceable against any person who may create, cause, maintain, or cause to, permit to, continue, or to fail to abate, correct, or remove any condition prohibited under this chapter. For the purpose of this chapter, any person shall be deemed to include the owner, occupant, tenant, contractor, mortgagee, or vendee in possession, mortgagee when the subject property has deteriorated in contravention to the provisions of this chapter, mortgagee which has commenced the foreclosure process, assignee of rents, receiver, executor, trustee, or any other person, firm, or corporation, directly or indirectly in control of any subject property pursuant to this chapter. Owners of property, Section B, owners of property shall be responsible for compliance with the provisions of this chapter and shall remain responsible, therefore, regardless of the fact that this chapter may also place responsibilities on occupants, tenants, contractors, mortgagees, and others, regardless of any agreements between owners, occupants, tenants, contractors, mortgagees, or others as to which party may assume such responsibility. Paragraph C, whenever any person or persons shall be in actual possession or have change, care, or control of any property within the Town of Carmel as executor, administrator, trustee, guardian, or agent, such person shall be deemed and taken to be the owner or owners of said property within the true intent and meaning of this chapter, and shall be bound to comply with the provisions of this chapter to the same extent of the record owner. Paragraph D, the mortgagee shall immediately notify the Town of Carmel in writing of its notice to the owner's failure to maintain the property in accordance with the provisions of this chapter. Upon the commencement of foreclosure proceedings, the mortgagee shall also immediately notify the Town of Carmel in writing of such action. Section 3, Section 114-15 of Chapter 14 of the Code is hereby amended to read as follows. 114-15, action upon noncompliance. Paragraph A, upon the failure, neglect, or refusal of any owner, occupant, tenant, contractor, mortgagee, etc., to properly comply with the provisions of this chapter within the time period prescribed in any order of the building inspector, or upon authorization from the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, the building inspector is hereby authorized and empowered to correct or cause to be corrected such violations.
B, where the town of Carmel has effected the correction of such violations and/or has paid for the corrections and/or removal of such violations, the actual cost thereof, including all costs incurred by the town of Carmel and its building inspector in the enforcement of this chapter, and procurement of all contract services to effect such corrections or compliance, plus the aggregate accrued legal rate of interest per annum for the date of the completion of the work, if not paid by such owner, occupant, tenant, contractor, mortgagee, etc., prior thereto, shall be charged by the town of Carmel and shall become due and payable by said owner, occupant, tenant, contractor, mortgagee, etc. C, when the full amount due to the town of Carmel is not paid by such owner, occupant, tenant, contractor, mortgagee, etc., within 20 days after the correction of such violation, as set forth in subsection A and B above, then building inspector shall cause to be filed in the office of the town clerk a sworn statement showing the cost and expenses incurred as set forth in subsection B, the dates of all work performed, and the location of the subject property by section, block, and lot, numbered together with the name of the responsible owner, occupant, tenant, contractor, or mortgagee. The filing of such sworn statement shall constitute a lien on the property and shall remain in full force and effect for the amount due in principal and interest plus legal fees incurred until such final payment has been made. Said costs and expenses shall be collected in the manner fixed by law for the collection of taxes, and further shall be subject to any delinquency penalty at the legal rate of interest in the event that same is not paid in full on or before the date the tax bill which so charged appears delinquent. Sworn statements filed in accordance with the provisions of this chapter shall be prima facie evidence that all legal formalities have been complied with and all work has been properly performed, and shall be full notice to every party concerned that the amount set forth therein plus interest constitutes a charge against the property designated and described therein, and said amount is due and collected as provided by law. Section 4, Home Rule. Nothing in this local law is intended or shall be construed to limit the home rule authority of the town on the state law to limit the town's discretion in setting fees and charges in connection with any applicable applications requiring town approval. Section 5, Severability. If any part or provision of this local law or the application thereof to any person or circumstance be adjudicated invalid by any court of competent jurisdiction, said judgment shall be confined in its operation to the parts of the provision or application directly involved in the controversy, in which judgment shall have been rendered, and shall not affect or impair the validity of the remainder of this local law or the application thereof to other persons or circumstances. And the town board of the town of Carmel hereby declares that it would have passed this local law or the remaining thereof had such invalid application or invalid provision be apparent. Section C, Effective Date. This local law shall take effect immediately upon filing in the office of the I'm sorry.
Six.
Six?
Six.
What did I say?
C.
Oh,
C.
I'm sorry, Section 6. This local law shall take effect immediately upon filing in the office of the Secretary of State in accordance with Section 27 of the Municipal Home Rule Law. At said public hearing, all interested persons shall be heard on the subject thereof. The town board will make every effort to ensure that the public hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Anyone who required special assistance and or reasonable accommodations should contact the town clerk by order of the town board of the town of Carmel and Spofford Town Clerk.
Okay, great. Thank you all for the reading of the notice of public hearing. At this time, I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, at this time, the public hearing is open. Is there any members of the public that are here with us this evening would like to come up and comment on the public hearing for the proposed local law to amend the Code of Town of Carmel, Chapter 114, entitled Property Maintenance? Going once, going twice? Okay, there being none, I need a
Move to
motion.
close the public hearing?
Second.
Okay, moved by Councilman Lombardi and seconded by Councilman Lupinacci to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Public hearing is now closed. Now, we're going to go through the seeker review. This is 1A on your agenda this evening, and
I'll take the board through it if you wish.
Councilor Fulchetti, would you please bring us through that?
Sure. There is a short form environmental assessment form that's attached to your backup. I just would direct your attention to what's indicated as Part 2 on that form, and I'll just take you through and ask you the questions, if you're all there. All right. First question is, will the proposed action create a material conflict with the adopted land use planning or zoning regulations?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action result in a change of the use or intensity of use of land?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of what's known as a CEA, critical environmental area?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change of the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies or public or private wastewater treatment utilities?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of any important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action result in adverse change to any natural resources, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No.
Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
No.
All right, so there, if the board has no further comment on that matter, you have a proposed declaration, determination of significance in the form of a negative declaration that you may consider as Part 1B of the process, if you wish.
Okay, great. Thanks, Greg. All right, 1B on your agenda this evening is a resolution making the secret determination of negative declaration. Councilman Schneider, would you read that, please?
Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel is considering enacting a local law to protect and enhance the public health and welfare of the Town of Carmel by making miscellaneous revisions and amendments to the Town of Carmel zoning code, Chapter 114, and whereas this local law has been developed to promote and enhance the health, safety, and general welfare of the persons and property of the Town of Carmel, and whereas the project is defined, excuse me, as an unlisted action, and now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to Part 617 of the secret regulations, the Town of Carmel Town Board hereby designates its intention to serve as lead agency for the secret review of this unlisted action, and in this capacity will conduct an uncoordinated review. Be it further resolved that pursuant to Part 617 of the implementing regulations pertaining to Article 8, State Environmental Quality Review Act of the Environmental Conservation Law, the lead agency has determined that the proposed unlisted action will not have a significant effect on the environment for the reasons enumerated in the attached negative declaration form. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilman Schneider, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lubinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, now, Board, if you'd like to consider enacting the local law?
Yeah, at this time, I make a motion to enact local law number 3.
Second?
Okay, motion made to enact the local law by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote, please?
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lubinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, so the local law has been enacted by motion made and seconded by members of the town board and voted on 5-0. So we have the local law has been amended and adopted as read and filed.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Okay, yes. Thanks,
Thank you,
John.
guys.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Taking the lead on that.
Okay, all right.
Greg for making it look good.
Okay, next resolution number 2 this evening is a resolution in the matter of the increase and improvement of facilities of Carmel Sewer District Number 1 in the town of Carmel. And Councilman Lombardi, would you read this one?
Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, has duly caused to be prepared a map, plan, and report, including an estimate of cost pursuant to Section 202B of the Town Law, relating to the increase and improvement of the facilities of Carmel Sewer District Number 1 in the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, being the reconstruction of sewer lines for infiltration and inflow remediation, including original and furnishings, equipment, machinery, apparatus, and appendices, and other incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith at a maximum estimated cost of $1,112,310. And whereas at a meeting of said Town Board, duly called and held on August 5, 2015, an order was adopted by it and it entered into the minutes specifying that said Town Board would meet to consider the increase and improvements of facilities of Carmel Sewer District Number 1 in said town at a maximum estimated cost of $1,112,310, and to hear all persons interested in the subject thereof concerning the same at Town Hall in Mahopac, New York, in said town on
Here we have the open.
on August 26, 2015, and subsequently on September 9th, 2015, at 7:00 p.m. And whereas said order duly certified by the town clerk was duly published and posted as required by law, and whereas a public hearing was duly held at a time and place now set forth in said notice, at which all persons desiring to be heard were duly heard. Now therefore, be it ordered the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, as follows. Section 1, upon evidence given at the aforesaid public hearing, it is hereby found and determined that it is in the public interest to make increase and improvements in the facilities of Carmel Sewer District Number 1 in the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, consisting of reconstruction of sewer lines for infiltration and inflow remediation, including original furnishing, equipment, machinery, apparatus, and appurtenances, and other incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith at a maximum estimated cost of $1,112,310. Section 2, this offer shall take effect immediately. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, before we vote on this, I'm going to ask if there's anyone here, any members of the public that are with us this evening that would like to comment on this before we go ahead and take the vote. Was there anyone here who indicated that they wanted to speak on this? Was it you, Mr. Schiff?
No.
About this resolution here for the bonding, yes.
Sewer,
Sewer one, the sewer one bonding.
he
For
didn't
the-
speak at the public
didn't?
hearing. No,
No.
another gentleman did.
Oh, okay,
And this is the public interest order
yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
You'd have to pass this before you can consider the bond resolution that is on the agenda next to follow for
Oh, okay.
consideration.
All right. Okay, so for this particular agenda item, there's no one here that would like to question the board with respect to this before we vote on it? Okay, all right. All right, there being none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Bonacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next agenda item is number 3. It's a resolution authorizing the issuance of $1,112,310 in bonds to the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, to pay the cost of the increase and improvement of the facilities of Carmel Sewer District 1 in the Town of Carmel. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read this one?
This is a resolution authorizing borrowing up to $1,112,310 for the purpose of, to pay the cost and increases and improvements of the facilities of Carmel Sewer District, Carmel Sewer District Number 1, consisting of the reconstruction of sewer lines for infiltration and inflow remedies, including original furnishing, equipment, machinery, apparatuses, and other incidental improvements. It has a useful life of 40 years, subject to permissive referendum. I offer this resolution as pre-filed with Ann Spofford, Town Clerk, and as read. Sorry, Ann.
Seconded.
Repeat
It's not subject to permissive? You gave me a bond resolution cheat sheet.
Yeah, but they're not all for special.
All right, so then I take out that it's subject to permissive referendum.
It has an estoppel period after the notice of the passing is published. I don't think that's.
So then I strike the subject to permissive referendum.
All right, you struck that from
Yeah.
the resolution?
From the-
Did you get
from the
that, Ian?
motion.
From the motion, from the motion.
From the motion, subject to permissive referendum?
That wasn't included in the resolution, was it?
No.
No, it was
Not
not.
within it.
No, it was not, no.
I paraphrased the
From
resolution.
the, so that was,
Gotta give me another
Second
cheat
the
sheet.
amended resolution.
you- okay,
Got it.
Jonathan seconded the amended resolution.
Got
Okay,
it.
offered by Councilman Lupinacci, seconded by Councilman Schneider,
And Greg's good with it.
as amended,
And Greg's good with it.
Yeah, and Greg, you good with that?
Absolutely.
The way it was read and presented?
Absolutely. It is,
He just
motion
left
as
my-
has
my
been
thing.
paraphrased and pre-filed
Oh.
with the clerk. And the bond counsel prepared this and provided for
You think I made that? up?
Spofford. I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
It's been on-
Girls don't use Cliff Notes when they do book
He's
reports.
looking at a thing I gave him, when he first
2 weeks ago.
got
2012.
elected in 2012. Glad he kept it.
Okay, all right, great.
I'm not
Now
reading 3 pages.
now that we got through that, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman
Aye.
Lombardi? Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried, thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 4, is a resolution authorizing the purchase of a primary clarifier drive for Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant. Suzie, would you read this one?
Sure, this is a resolution authorizing purchase of primary clarifier drive, Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant. Whereas Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., and Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant operator 7 Trent Environmental Services, STES, have advised the Town Board of the Town of Carmel that the secondary clarifier drive at the Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant is in failure and in need of replacement. And whereas the town engineer has further advised the town board that the need for replacement of the failing clarifier drive is emergency in nature for purposes of SPDES permit, compliance, and for wastewater treatment plant function, which exempts the town of Carmel from compliance with the competitive bidding requirements of the New York State General Municipal Law. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of Carmel Sewer District Number 2, hereby authorizes the acceptance of the proposal of GMH Associates, Trenton, New Jersey, dated September 3rd, 2015, for the purchase of said clarifier drive equipment at a cost not to exceed $59,062.69. And be it further resolved that the town comptroller, Marianne Maxwell, is hereby authorized to make any and all budget transfers necessary to effectuate this authorization. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Just for the benefit of the public, the $59,062.69 is paid for by those residents that reside in the Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant district. So it's not borne by all the residents of the town of Carmel, it's just those that reside within those boundaries up in, it's in the hamlet of Carmel. I just wanted you guys to know that the 59 is being paid for by them because they benefit from the wastewater treatment plant. Okay, that concludes the agenda items for this evening's Town Board public hearing and voting meeting. Is there any members of the public that would like to come up and to comment on any of the items we just voted on this evening? Just the items we voted on just now. Not the work session. The work session is going to begin after this. Okay. Anyone? Okay, there being none, we're going to move, I need a motion to close the special voting meeting. So moved by Councilwoman McDonough, seconded by, John, you want to second it? Second. Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. All right, I need a motion to open the town board work session now.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Lombardi. Huh? Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough, Councilman Lupinacci, and Councilman Schneider.
Say thank you, Ann.
Thank you, Ann. Have a good night. All right. We also have our highway superintendent, Mike Simone, is in the audience tonight, too. Mike, thanks for being here. As well as our town engineer, Rich Franzetti. And I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go on to a town board work session. Item number 1 is a review of the town board minutes of August 5th, 19th, and 26th of 2015. Any board members care to comment on the minutes? Okay, there being none. Number 2 is to consider additions to the active list of the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department. I have a letter here from Farah Fidel, the corresponding secretary for the Mahopac Fire Department. She's requesting that the following person has been added to the rolls of the Mahopac Fire Department. Her name is Lauren Eichen. Lauren Eichen from Carmel, New York. Any board members wish to comment on this new member to the fire department? Okay, there being none, I'd like to thank Lauren in advance. We'll be voting next Wednesday at a town board voting meeting to formally approve your membership, but thank you in advance for your volunteerism and service to the Mahopac Fire District. Okay, number 3 is Town Engineer Rich Franzetti. Rich, welcome.
Good evening.
This is to consider, actually, 3 and 4 are for Rich. 1 is for consider a bond reduction, tax map number 63-1-16 for $48,300. So why don't we do that one first, then we'll go on to 4.
As you stated, Supervisor, on August 26th, the Planning Board passed a motion to recommend a bond reduction for the captioned property, which is for the Giordano Gervasi subdivision located at 182 Bullet Hole Road, tax map 63-1-16. The applicant has submitted a fully executed bond application form. Both the building inspector and the town engineering department have inspected the site, and we agree that the bond should be reduced.
Okay. Any questions or comments for the board with respect to the bond reduction before you? Okay, all right, there being none. Rich, let's go to number 5, and then we're going to come back to number 4, because number 5, board, we're going to go to number 5, because it's also a bond return.
Sure.
So let's take care of that first, and then we'll go to number 4, which is consider request to attend the seminar. So go to 5. Rich, take it away.
So this is a bond return for RPK Precision Homes, tax map number 5514-1-5.1 to 5.5, and tax map number 55.10-1-23 to 25. This is essentially a swap of letters of credit. The project was first approved as a conventional 8-lot subdivision. The bond estimate at that time was set at $150,000. The applicant has then, or subsequently, received approval from the planning board for a 50-unit senior housing project requiring significantly more infrastructure improvements, thus raising the bond estimate to $773,000. The department has no objection to returning the original letter of credit of $150,000 and posting a new letter of credit for a new amount of $773,000. So it's essentially a bond swap. They have a bond on record now. They want that bond back, but they've posted the other bond. So right now, this particular applicant has 2 bonds posted to the town for 2 different projects at the same site, but they only have the approval for the one, so they'd like the one back for the $150,000, which was the original 8-lot subdivision.
Okay, and I just want to add that we have a memo here from Mike Carnazza, the building inspector. Please be advised that this time there are no zoning violations on the above-mentioned property. The building department has no objection to returning of the original bond, so it can be replaced with a new bond amount. So any questions or comments from the board with respect to the bond swap? Bond swapping? John, Susie?
Yeah, good.
Good. Okay, you know which project this is, right? It's up on Seminary Hill Road at intersection Mechanic Street?
Yes, that's where it is.
All right. Okay, being there's no further comment or questions regarding the bond swap, we're going to go back, we're going to go to number 4. Rich Franzetti, P., Town Engineer, is to consider request to attend a seminar, Southeast New York Stormwater Conference, October 15th, 2015, and the cost is for $100, and this amount is contained within the 2015 Engineering Department budget line. For the cost.
You've basically said it all. Do I need to say any more? No.
Said it all.
I just respectfully request that I'm able to attend this conference. It will be, it's focused on stormwater management and will address topics related to green infrastructure and retrofits, which is important here in the town, especially with the East Hudson watershed. So we do have it. We budget it every year, and we have the money in there in our budget to do this. So.
And I just want to announce the location, even though it's the Southeast New York Stormwater Conference, it's being held, it's been sponsored by the Lower Hudson Coalition of Conservation Districts, and it's being held October 15th at the Dutchess Manor, in Dutchess
Right.
County.
Yep.
So,
Right in Beacon, New York.
yep, nice place. All right, any questions or comments with respect to the seminar the engineer would like to attend? Nope? Okay. All right, good. That completes the agenda items for this evening's Town Board work session. Is there anyone from the public that would like to come up and comment at this time on the agenda items that we just covered for the work session? No? Okay, there being none, next we're going to move on to public comment. This is under new business, the open forum portion of the meeting, where any resident, business owner, or taxpayer can come up and discuss with the town board or comment regarding any new business in the town of Carmel. This is your opportunity to come up and address your town board on any issues you may have concerns or questions about in the town. Okay, there being none, we're going to move on to some announcements that we have. This is for those that are residing in the Carmel Water District Number 12, which is in the Agor Lane, Tommy Court area of the town, vicinity of the town of Carmel. It's a, notice is hereby given that the Town Board, Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, at a meeting held on the 2nd of September, duly adopted the following resolution. The resolution is declaring a water emergency in that particular water district in the town of Carmel. And I know Councilman Lombardi went down the list of what you can do and what you can't do. Essentially, what created this was the lack of rain that we have had in this area. We haven't had much precipitation recently. So, and it's been very hot. We've had numerous days of 90-plus temperatures. And that particular water district, they have 3 wells servicing that area. One of the wells is at risk of, it's running very low. It's not producing the flow and the amount of water that it normally would under normal conditions. But we haven't had normal conditions because of the lack of rain and the dry weather that we've been experiencing. So you can go on, and was this put on our website, you know? Okay, all right, so you can go to the Town of Carmel website, and this water emergency notice is listed on the website, and it'll pretty much go down the list of what you should not be doing during a water emergency, so.
Mapac News as well. Mapac News. It went into Mapac.
It went into Mapac News? Okay, all right, thank you for running it in the news, appreciate it. So just, everybody, please conserve your water, and especially in Water District 12, but throughout all the other water districts as well. Okay, the Town of Carmel Recreation and Parks Advisory Committee meeting. They will be holding a meeting on Thursday, October 1st, 2015 at Sycamore Park, 790 Long Pond Road, Mahopac. This will be an open meeting starting at 7:30. There's no formal agenda. As stated in the Recreation and Parks 2015 Fall/Winter Brochure, all residents and representatives of interested organizations are invited to attend. The purpose of this meeting is to obtain views from the community on ways to improve and strengthen Recreation Department programs. The meeting will not be limited to a formal agenda, as the Advisory Committee would like to hear from the community on all matters affecting recreation. We'll be making this announcement again, and we'll post it on the website and Channel 95 and 24 for Verizon. Again, the date is Thursday, October 1st, an open, no formal agenda meeting with the Town of Carmel Recreation Advisory Parks Committee meeting. Okay. Attention Water District customers, town water meter readings are due by September 30th, 2015. Readings can be entered through the town's website at www.carmelnewyork.org, mailed via water meter, read postcard, or called into the Comptroller's office at 845-628-1500. It is extremely important that you supply us with your reading so that our billing is based upon the actual usage for all properties connected to the water district. So those of you who live in a water district that's serviced by the Town of Carmel, please, you've all received your water meter read cards in the mail. I know I received one, so you need to read your meters and get that information back to the Comptroller's office so they can accurately bill you for the actual amount of water that you used, the actual use, and not what is would be a estimated use, which we'd have to do if we didn't receive your water meter card back. I don't know why I'm reading all of these things.
I think you just wanted to hear yourself talk.
Keep going.
Yeah, you might as well
You
keep
missed
going.
last meeting.
Right, I thought he was making up for it.
All right, the Town of Carmel Recreation and Parks Department presents the Fitness Fair. The Fitness Fair is the town's first annual event where local businesses come together to provide services and products towards the community's health and fitness. It is a great opportunity to begin a new journey towards getting into shape, eating right, and finding and finding a fitness program right for you. Together we will make the. I wasn't really looking at John. I was just looking over that way. Together we will make this the fittest community. Date is Saturday, September 19th. Saturday, September 19th. Rain date, Sunday, September 20th. Time, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Location, Sycamore Park, 7090 Long Pond Road, Mahopac, New York. Details: wear comfortable clothing that you can move in if you plan to participate in activities. Bring water to stay hydrated. Information on being a vendor at the fitness fair: it's $20 per table. Please call the Recreation Office at 845-628-7888. Come and bring a friend or family member and start your new fitness journey. I'll go with you.
I'm big boned.
Okay, this is the last announcement, I promise. Town of Carmel Recreation and Parks Department, it seems like it's all recreation news tonight.
All good.
2015 fall classes, children's classes, Moms and Tots, preschool and mini tumbling, Pee Wee, Picasso, music together, tiny dancers, edible creations, coffee and kids, little chefs, mini ta no kwando, junior mechanical engineering, and Adams roller hockey, total sports, soccer, and T-ball squirts. Youth, teen, and adult classes, traditional karate, mechanical engineering, yoga lattes, learn to fence, tennis lessons, inline roller hockey leagues, horseback riding, stretch it out, ARC babysitting course, clock repair, collecting, and restoration, dog obedience, my dogs need to go to this course, ice skating lessons, and ski and snowboard club. Registration in session now. To register for fall classes, come to Sycamore Park, 790 Long Pond Road, Mahopac. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or mail-in registration, including family registration form, activity registration form, or U.S. Sports Institute form with payment in full. Make check payable to the Carmel Recreation. For more information on classes and forms, proceed to our website, www.carmelny.org/recreation, or like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Town of Carmel Recreation and Parks Department. All right, so a lot of Parks and Recreation news. All this will be on our website, available for your viewing, or on the Town of Carmel Recreation and Parks website as well.
I have a Parks and Rec announcement also.
Okay.
Just recently, and they're going to get mad that I'm doing this, but just recently, there was a volunteer project that was completed at Baldwin Meadow. There was a front entrance walk that was laid down with pavers, and the area between the concession stand or building and the basketball courts, where there all used to be small little pebbles going out to the basketball, peeling the paint and also, making it a little bit unsafe with traction. Joe Colatrulio and Fred Rieger also did a lot of work during Gen Fest, putting up the scoreboard at Baldwin Meadow, volunteered, submitted their insurance, went all through the correct actions throughout the town and the rec committee. They finished the program, and if you go up to Baldwin Meadow, you could see what 2 to 4 people who volunteered their time and their expertise did for the community, did for the parks. It was also part of MSA Soccer. Jimmy budgeted the money for the pavers. You buy a couple pavers for about $6,000, $7,000, and all the labor was done by 4 people. And again, they added value to the community. They added value to a park. If you ever see Joe or Fred, you should thank them because they did a really good job. So.
Yes, thank you, John, for mentioning that. They really did an amazing job, and we need to thank those who were involved. As you mentioned, Joe Colatrulio, Fred Rieger, and others.
And a cast of volunteers.
All the
from
volunteers.
MSA, yeah. Fred, Roger, Rich, a lot of people.
Yeah, it's really amazing. It came out beautiful.
Yep.
And if you haven't been over to Baldwin Meadows Park recently, it's worth taking a trip over there and seeing how beautiful that park really is. And we owe a lot of thanks to all the volunteers in the community to really make these wonderful parks look and function and operate the way they do. And the Chamber Park as well.
And the new playground.
Oh,
at the
yeah,
Chamber.
yes, thank you, John and
outstanding.
Susie. Yeah, the new playground has been installed at Chamber Park downtown, 6 and 6N. It really came out nice, too, and a lot of children have been using it. I noticed over the weekend, there was quite a few kids that were using it, so it's really beautiful. It really incorporates a lot of different themes within it, and bring your kids down to the Chamber Park and let them play in the new playground that was just constructed within the last 5 or 6 days. So thank you for all that were involved in appropriating funding for that and making the Chamber Park a really beautiful place to bring your entire family now with your children and others. So really, Chamber Park really has come a long way. It's really beautiful, along with all the other parks too. So we're very thankful for that. Okay, Jonathan, did you have anything?
I think the
Anything you
Falls
gotta-
Fire Department has an open house this
Do
week.
they have, is it this weekend? I know it's coming up, I just didn't know if it was this weekend or not. I know that the triathlon is also approaching us, I think it's the 19th, September 19th. would be the annual triathlon that takes place in the community. That's another really big fundraising event for the Ty Campbell Foundation. So Jonathan's just going to check on the date for the Falls Fire Department open house.
I don't have it on me.
Do you have anything else?
I just want to also, thank Mike and the highway guys, because at Boulder Meadow, you guys brought some material over there, so thank you for helping out with that project, too. Didn't want to forget you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Mike, did you have anything you want to report on this evening? No? Okay. All right, good. Okay. All right.
I have to thank our local reporter for getting me the information
She's
on
got
the
it?
Mahopac Falls Volunteer
Oh, nice.
Fire Department's open
All right.
house. It's going to be September 13th, 2015, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that's going to be at Mahopac Falls Main Station on Lacaro Lane, and that's right off of Route 6N. There's going to be free food, refreshments, much, much more. There's going to be a blood drive, tour of the ambulances, the fire trucks, the engines, so bring the kids out there. Carmel Police child seat installations, so our police department will be out there. We're going to have a canine demonstration. Sparky the dog will be there. Putnam County Emergency Response Team will be there. You're going to have the Fire Safety House for Kids, Putnam County Sheriff's Marine Unit, LifeNet Medical Helicopter, Dive Team, Motor Vehicle Extrication, Barbecue, grill fire demonstration, thermal imaging cameras, ladder trucks. So there's going to be a ton of fun, ton of stuff for kids to do. Families, get out and take a look at what our volunteers do. It's pretty amazing stuff that they do every day for free for us.
What was the date again?
It's September 13th, 11 till 5 p.m.
Oh, okay. All right. I just want to remind everybody that this Friday is 9/11. 9/11 is the 14th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks on New York, Washington, D.C., and in Pennsylvania. So please keep, all the victims and the victims' families in your thoughts and prayers. This Friday, 14th anniversary of the tragedies of 9/11. We're going to have a small ceremony here on Friday morning at 8:46 is the time that the first plane struck the North Tower in Lower Manhattan, and then at 9:02, we're going to have a moment of silence here as well at our 9/11 memorials when the second plane struck the South Tower. So that'll be taking place here, and we're also going to speak a little about, or I'm going to speak a little about the events of that tragic day. It's a small ceremony. It's usually just attended by the staff of the town hall here, but certainly the community is invited to attend if they'd like to. But in the evening on 9/11, and Friday evening up in the Hamlet of Carmel, they also have a 9/11 memorial ceremony that takes place up there. I believe it starts at 7 p.m., right up in the Hamlet of Carmel at Route 52 and Fair Street at the Cornerstone Park where the 9/11 memorial is located. That's a much larger event. It's attended by many, many people from the community. The victims' families actually participate and are present during the ceremony. So once again, this Friday, September 11th, please just keep those victims' families and all who were involved and tragically were affected by the events of 9/11/2001. Okay, so that's it. We do have executive session. We have one personnel item with respect to the police department that we have to discuss. We'll be closing the meeting from executive session and won't be coming back out here. So I need a motion to adjourn the meeting, to go into executive session. Okay, so moved by Councilman Lombardi. Seconded by Councilman Schneider. All those in favor? Aye. Good night, everyone. Be well. We will see you next Wednesday for a town board voting meeting.